What to look for in a partner if you're an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, especially when you're starting out, your life is very imbalanced. When I think about my starting days, it was just cheap fast food, loads of coffee, wearing the same clothes over and over again. I wasn't giving a F about that. I just didn't care because I needed to get things done. A few months before that, my life was actually kind of similar. I was a dentist student and this degree took many years and I pretty much lived the same. And it was really the same type of lifestyle. So essentially, I just continued my lifestyle as a student when I started my first company. I think this is the one positive thing about me going to med school. I had to live in poverty up until 30 years of age and I had no money. Life was just work, nothing else. My day was like this. I wake up, drink some water, take a shower, and then start working until I can't work anymore. Coffee in between, fast food dinner, and then the last work shift. Same thing over and over again. I went out very rarely, and I have to admit, I'm kind of an extreme person. I could not stand to be slow. I wanted to be part of the internet revolution, and I really had a bad conscience because I studied at med school till I was like 28. That felt like super late. So I felt like I had to catch up for the lost years. Now, how does a girlfriend fit in there? It's hard. Maybe on a Saturday, that's it. I don't know how other people could manage starting a company and having a relationship at the same time. Because on top of that, you don't even have money when you're starting. And which girl likes a brokey anyways? But yes, it is possible to have a partner when you're a startup entrepreneur, but if you have the choice, don't do it and wait until you become financially stable. It's just what I'm thinking. Especially if you're a man. Because as a man, you'll have a much easier time attracting women once you have a little bit of success. It's so much easier. As a starting entrepreneur, what do I look for in a partner? No drama mindset. Unnecessary drama is a killer. Your business is stressful enough already. You need to get things done. A lot of people love drama because otherwise life is too boring for them. I remember very clearly a friend of mine didn't feel any attraction towards women that were just nice and loving to him and essentially just a good partner. He kind of needed them to be partly rejecting him or keep him in some kind of uncertainty about if she really likes him or things like that. I never got this. I never understood. I am the opposite. The more drama and uncertainty, the less I'm attracted to a woman. And my type of taste is helpful if you're an entrepreneur, because there's already enough excitement and drama and stress out there in the business world. No need for any drama in your romantic relationships whatsoever. She has to be physically very attractive. I don't know about you, but I have high standards. I think it's absolutely important that you choose a partner you really find physically attractive. I don't like to settle for less. Why have low standards anyway? I am depriving myself so much because I work so much. At least I deserve a partner who I am physically attracted to, in my opinion. Also, think about the future. You want a long-term relationship, right? That means ideally, in an ideal world, 10 years later from now, you're still physically attracted to each other. That's only even possible and conceivable if you choose an attractive partner in the first place. Of course, it's not just about looks, but also pheromones and mindset and smell, etc. But you know what I'm talking about. Positive vibes only. A lot of people like to be negative. They like attention because they are victims. They feel neglected and offended all the time. Especially nowadays, the victim mentality is kind of like a pandemic. That's actually the true pandemic because it's an easy way out. It's never the victim's fault. Victims, in fact, are manipulative and they try to trick you into a relationship by making you feel being their savior. But you're not. You won't be able to do that. Don't even try. You must eradicate negativity out of your private life. I don't care if it's your friends or a romantic partner. Negativity is a killer. And victims and victim types are very negative. They have this black hole inside them, and no matter how much positive energy and attention you throw at them, it won't ever be enough. ever. The bottom line for me, your partner should give you energy instead of draining it. And for God's sake, don't have a victim mindset yourself. Common interests. I always feel sorry for the old rich guys who are much older and have a much younger girlfriend if they share no common interest whatsoever. I see that frequently when I'm on my business travels in like 5-star hotels, and it's so typical. Old fat guy with a young girl, both spending their night looking at their smartphone, not ever talking to each other. Because they have no common interests. Don't get me wrong. As an old successful guy, it's absolutely cool and the right thing to do if you can have a young attractive girlfriend. That's fine. But you need to have some common interests. If all that interests her is techno parties, TV series, and cosmetics, and you don't like any of that, then you have a problem. For me, a woman should be interested in health, high quality lifestyle, fitness, and spending time in nature. I don't like party girls. I like parties here and there though, but rule number 1, don't make a party girl your partner. You should have common values. Just like in a company, common values are important for harmony in a relationship. This is just as important as having common interests. You should be on the same page regarding, for example, political views. I am, for example, libertarian, I want taxes to be low, and I want free markets. You should have the same family values, and you should both know what kind of behavior you expect from each other, especially when things get tough or when you have disagreements. Values help a lot. For example, when you're religious and you have religious values, it's fantastic to share the same religious values with your partner. Those types of relationships function much better. Growth mindset. I believe that anything either grows or dies. There is nothing in between really. The universe does not stand still. If you're an entrepreneur, you're very likely to have a growth mindset. And if you keep working on it, if you keep working on yourself, you're probably going to do it forever. This should be shared by your partner as well, because otherwise you will grow out of each other. It's much better if you both are able to grow and therefore stay together. Complementing talents. This is more of a nice to have, but it makes sense. In an ideal world, you have complementing strength. If one of you is chaotic, it helps if the other one is more organized. If one of you is bad with numbers, life is easier if the other can deal with them well. A romantic relationship is also a big project, especially if you want to have a family. And just like in a company, it's much nicer if your better half is actually better at some things.